Well, hello there, Stacey Murphy here from Grow Your Own Vegetables with a quick video about 4 types of garden hacks that can make your life simpler. Now, what the heck is a hack? So a hack is essentially a tool, a technique, a strategy, something that makes your life easier, something that takes a process and makes it simpler or easier. So isn't that what we all want out of our garden, right? We want more homegrown harvests to our table with less effort. So what I want to do is I want to share a common problem that gardeners have, and then we're going to look at the problem from 4 different perspectives from these 4 different types of hacks and come up with 4 different solutions so that when you're experiencing a problem in your garden, you can take these 4 strategies and you can apply it to come up with new solutions, all right? So, a common problem in the garden is losing your garden tools. Usually it's our handheld tools that we lose, and the reason is that basically we go to work, we do whatever we're going to do, and then we basically put the tool down wherever to continue working, and then we look back and we can't find it, or we walk away, we don't know where we left it. And sometimes this is just a nuisance, but other times this is a major problem if you have a large area to search for it, and it becomes a big time waster, and that's not what we want. We want you growing more food, right? We don't want you just wandering around looking for your tools. Now, I know this might not be your specific problem, but what I want you to think about is how you would apply these 4 types of hacks to whatever your problem is, all right? So, in this case, I'm looking for my tools, and there are these 4 types of hacks, right? So the first type of garden hack is essentially an object that you can just go and buy or grab off the shelf. And so in this case, there are options on the market that this is a standard problem. So there's a lot of options out there. One option is a caddy, a tool caddy. And so basically the idea is you carry the caddy with you. And so when you go to put your tool down, you put it back in the caddy. And for a lot of people, they like caddies because when they go inside at the end of the day, they like to take their tools inside so that they're not out in the elements. Because when they're out in the elements, they can rust. I leave my tools outside, they rust. I don't mind. It's just, I like it better just to leave them outside. But if you're particular about your tools, you can take them in all the time. And so a caddy is a really great strategy to buy something, and then you basically have it next to you all the time that you're working, and that way you put the tool in the caddy. So it's a physical object that makes the process easier because you're not going to lose a big thing full of tools, right? Okay, so that is the first type of hack, is a physical solution you can just go out and purchase. All right, so the second type of garden hack is a do-it-yourself strategy. So in the case of this caddy, it's an object, and a lot of times do-it-yourself things can be objects as well. And so one of the do-it-yourself options that a lot of people use when they are losing tools is they'll make themselves a little tool belt. And so basically they'll take a tool belt that they already have, or their pants, they'll take the loops on their pants and they'll create something so that they can hang tools off of their belts so that they can wander around and always have their tools with them. So again, this is an object, but in this case, instead of going and purchasing something, you're just grabbing something handy and making something yourself. All right. So hack number 1 type of hack is a tool. Hack number 2 is a do-it-yourself. It might be a tool, but it might be something else. And hack number 3, type number 3, is a mindset shift. And this is a little bit trickier because in this case, what you're doing is you are changing your behavior. All right, so you have to think about this in terms of like brushing your teeth. So how do you make this, whatever this new strategy is, this new process, how do you make it so that it's automatic, like brushing your teeth? It has to be that automatic, all right? So changing your mindset around something. So in this case, losing your tools, the habit is essentially I go outside, I'm working on something, and then basically I put the tool down because I need my hands for something else, and I do that, and I may or may not come back to the tool. So why don't I create a place to put the tool in every garden bed? So it's not that I just put it down randomly, but that I put it down in a specific spot. Because really in my garden there are 4 major places that I sit in my garden and work, or I stand in my garden and work. And if I can put the tool within reach of that, then, or wherever I'm going to collect it, then basically I know the tool is going to be in one of those 4 spots. So what I could do is I could put, like, this is a mailbox, and this is weatherproof. So now if I put it inside here, my tools are going to be weatherproof. So what if I put this in those 4 places, so that whenever I'm gardening, I'm always in those 4 places. So why don't I put a mailbox exactly in those 4 places, so that I know that my tools are going to be located in one of those 4 spaces at all times, all right? I might have to look a little bit, I have to look through each one, but at least it saves me a bit of effort, right? You might want to try for just one location, but again, the behavior is that you're in the midst of something, so you put the tool down, so it has to be readily available, all right? So you want to think about how to make whatever the task that you're doing at hand, or whatever the thing you're doing at hand, you want to make it so that it's like brushing your teeth. The new mindset, the new routine is that ingrained, all right? All right, so that's a 3rd type of garden hack. The 4th type of garden hack is a strategy, and this is something that you use to, like, outsmart yourself. So in the 3rd type of hack, it's your mindset that you're rewiring. But in the 4th type of hack, what you want to do is come up with a strategy so that even when you do the wrong thing, you can still find your tools. All right? So what I've done is 2 things. I've taken my tool, all my handles, and I've spray painted orange on the handle, because what I know is that orange is going to always stand out against the brown earth, and it's going to stand out against the green plants. So now I know I can always look for the orange during the daytime if I can't find my tools. Now, what if it gets buried so far underneath my plants that I still can't find it with that orange handle? You want to know the second part? This is pretty cool. So basically the next thing I did is I spray painted it with a glow-in-the-dark paint, so that now if I come out at dusk, just after the sun sets, it's going to glow, because basically it's going to work 2 to 4 hours after the sun goes down. It's going to glow. And what that means is that when I lose a tool, all I have to do is wait for the sun to go down, and there's my tool. So the idea here is that at the end of the day, I want to make sure in that case, I don't want my tool to be lost for future. So I want to make sure that at the end of that day, that I go out and I put the tool away. I look for the glow in the dark and I put it away, right? So those are the 4 types of garden hacks that you can use, and you can apply it to any strategy. So the first thing that you want to think about is, what is there? Is there a tool that is available that I can purchase, that's easy, that's going to solve my problem? Number 2, is there a do-it-yourself solution? Maybe I can make one myself. Number 3, change your mindset. Figure out a new behavior to replace the old behavior. And you have to come up with a creative solution that actually changes the behavior. And the 4th type of garden hack is a strategy that even when the mindset fails, you have a backup plan. All right? So now that you know the 4 types of garden hacks that you can use to solve any type of problem, here's your next big tip. Check out the gardenhacksummit.com. We've got 13 visionary gardeners from around the world who are sharing their best tips, tricks, mindset shifts, and strategies to help you put more homegrown food on your table with a lot less work. We have, I think, over 200 years of experience gardening that we're going to download to you, and that is a fabulous hack right there, is to inherit the wisdom of those that have done this before you, so that you can short circuit all that learning and just make everything a whole lot easier in your garden. All right? We'd love to see you there. Register at gardenhacksummit.com.